Hey guys, this is another episode of James's Weekly Tips, and today I've got one that's a topic that's a little controversial. I was asked by Marcus the other day, what are some form of healthy takeaways? Well, to answer that question, we've got to kind of delve a little bit deeper. Okay, on one side, a takeaway could be perceived as not good for you because obviously the association with saturated fat, trans fats, and obviously things that are not good for you. Um, However, on the flip side of that, where I'm going to touch upon a little bit later, some of the good things which Marcus obviously raised in terms of what is actually a healthy takeaway. Um, they are the notion is that it's a takeaway is bad for you because how it's cooked. Because you've not made it yourself, you don't know what's in it. Say, for example, fish and chips. Is obviously it's deep, I won't say deep fried, but it's fried. The batter is obviously fried. The chips are fried. Um, Say for an example, the one that's probably gets a definite bad reputation for itself is obviously Chinese food and Indian food because of MSG. MSG is a substance that's in the majority of sources in those sorts of takeaways, which is definitely not good for you. Um, uh, Also, with it's probably more so with Chinese food. It fills you up for a certain amount of time, and you'd eat probably shed loads of food, and then probably about an hour or two later you'd be hungry again. So you're just eating again for this because it's not fulfilling as a meal. Whereas if we look at those takeaways from a positive light, if we use fish and chips, sorry, as the first example, um, it would be a healthier option. Would be the batter being in breadcrumbs as opposed to or it lose me normal batter. Um, Another way would be for it's obviously if you were at home would be to grill that fish as opposed to frying it. Uh, the other options are also mushy peas, which I'm not a big fan of. I'd rather have peas any day, but that's what me personally. You might actually like the taste of them, and then this one is probably the more controversial of the other two. Is still keeping the chips but having them bigger, so they obviously because the carbohydrate content is that much higher, you're going to get fuller quicker, so you're going to have less of them, and having the not less well, either reduced salt or no salt at all on them. Uh, this is obviously an NHS guideline for healthier examples. Okay, it's to a certain degree. Some of the things I've said I do agree with, and some I don't. In terms of what I agree with, in terms of the fish and chips, for example, as the example I've used, um, it's probably if you look at the grand scheme of it, if I compare fish and chips, Chinese, Indian, and a kebab shop, for example, it is probably, in my eyes, it's probably the healthier one because you could, okay, you've paid for the batter, but in theory, it's the healthier option because all it is fish. You're still getting the protein content. It's just the fat content is coming from one, the oil, and two, the batter, and obviously the carbohydrate content is the chips. Whereas if you looked at against, say, Chinese and Indian, obviously the MSG, um, food coloring that's in the sauces, obviously to make, say, for example, what have we got? like sweet and sour, whatever it is, pork, beef, chicken, obviously, is bright orange. So that should bring alarm bells ringing straight away. What food is bright orange? If it's not got some sort of additive or chemical in it to start with. And then if we go on to the kebab house, obviously there's the difference between the doner kebab, sorry, and the shish. The healthier option between those two would be the shish kebab, because obviously it is for the ones that don't know, it's meat on the skewer as a shish, and the doner meat is generally carved off. How would I term it? Like a spit, in terms of the shish is probably better because the meat is whole to start with, so you've got some resemblance of meat, whereas doner meat is like, well, do you actually know what part of the animal it comes from in terms of either the lamb or the chicken? So whereas shish, it's to a certain extent it'd be a cut of meat and then it's grilled. And in terms of still being a healthier note, obviously you're going to eat carbs from pita bread, and pita bread is, against normal bread, is a little bit better for you. Okay, if you're trying to avoid carbs, you're not going to win here, because a takeaway in that note is probably not the best source for you altogether, because you're going to struggle. Be it, well, I just named ones on the high street, so you name the fast food restaurants: Burger King, McDonald's, KFC, because obviously that's deep fried chicken, so that's got batter on it as well. So if you're trying to cut carbs, you're going to struggle. But if you're trying to do that, okay, you could still have that product. Just take the outer casing of, say for example, KFC. Take the chicken, the batter off the chicken. Okay, there's nothing wrong with the chicken. Say for the hamburger joints, it was a massive craze, or about a few years ago, in terms of when the Atkins diet was, well, still at its height to a certain degree. People would order just the burger, sorry, and the salad, and leave the bun off completely. Obviously, you'd actually get a reduction with this, which I was quite surprised with, because you're thinking, well, in theory, shouldn't it be dearer, because the meat should in theory be the dearer of the free products. So to come back to that, it's kind of made me think just here and now, well, what quality of beef is there actually, if the price can actually go down if you take away the bun? So, and then to kind of come back on that and do an overview of all of them, if you wanted to have a takeaway and you were looking to get the healthier option, those are probably the tips that I would recommend. Say for example, if you're going to have fish and chips, obviously look to change the batter sauce, or be it breadcrumbs as opposed to normal batter, the bigger chips, mushy peas as opposed to peas. In the kebab shop, have a shish kebab instead of a doner kebab. And then obviously the one I raised with the hamburger joint, if you're trying to avoid the carbs, obviously you can get rid of the bun, and, well, if it was like a few years ago, you'll save yourself a little bit of money as well. So that would be my takeaway from today's video. So if you can comment below with how you liked it, anything I might have missed that you would like to know more about, put it in the comments below. And then, like I've said in previous videos, do comment below on any videos that you'd like to either learn more about or for me to discuss, and I will do my utmost to do that for you. So until tomorrow, I will bid you good day, and I'll be uploading another video tomorrow.